So guys, really great news. We have literally just called it that the Model Y Juniper Performance was being worked on and is on its way here sooner than you think. Now at this point, there is not a lot to base off of just because the Model Y is so new, but being based off of the same platform and taking cues from the Model 3, we can expect some really nice upgrades, most of them being similar but also really unique. Based on our experience with the Model 3 Highland and its high-end trim, Tesla has typically spaced their releases about 3 months apart, often prioritizing the performance model with an exclusive media-only launch event just ahead of its official release. Following this trend, we can anticipate a similar timeline and exclusivity for the Model Y, with the launch event taking place roughly 3 months after the initial announcement. Drawing off of the Model 3, we can expect the Model Y to feature a bespoke design with a more aggressive front bumper incorporating sharper angles and enhanced body lines. And for the rear of the car, we can expect notable additions such as a larger spoiler, new badges, and a lower diffuser. Although the specifics of the motors remain unknown, we can expect an increase in horsepower, which should shave off about 0.3 of a second from 0 to 60 time, reducing it from 3.5 seconds down to just 3.2. And for additional drivetrain upgrades, we can anticipate a newly designed suspension specifically made for the Model Y. Unlike the Model 3, which was tuned for track performance, this suspension will strike a balance between comfort and driving dynamics. Now as for the battery, the exact specifications for this model are still unknown. However, Tesla has confirmed that the long-range Model Y has an approximate 6% increase in EPA estimated range over the older model. If the same improvements apply, the Model Y Performance should see about 310 miles on a full charge. Alright, so there's a lot of interesting things to cover about the Model Y Performance, but I think that most people are curious about what it will end up looking like and what kind of changes we can expect out of this car. First off, many of us are questioning where the major bulk of the changes are going to be, being that the front now has the more aggressive stance with the light bar, the new placement for the headlights, and especially it already includes the side vents, which the Model 3 didn't include on the base model but saved it for the Performance. Then for the rear of the car, it already looks extremely nice and extremely aggressive as well, with the light bar wrapping around the taillight. And then the key point is that it already has the lower diffuser, which was also saved for the Performance model on the Model 3. Now that's quite different from what they had done with the prior Model Y, where the base model and the Performance model practically look the same from the front end to the back end. However, for the newer Model Y, it looks way more aggressive. We are getting all the nice things that we would typically see on the best and highest trim. So for the very first time ever, I personally think that they are not going to be adding that much of a difference to the Model Y Performance, and these are all going to be minor aesthetical things such as red brake calipers, the spoiler, and additional badges. These are the things that are going to make the Performance version stand out. So then, speaking of the exterior, over the past few days, we have seen what looks to be the Performance model being tested in places such as the US, Germany, and China, and these are going to be the cars that most of us are waiting for. Just this last weekend, there has been recent sightings of Model Ys rolling out of the Fremont factory, entirely covered up in the front and the back with the infamous black fabric. The Kilowatt spotted and shared images of a refreshed Model Y just south of San Francisco, now covered up and sporting the new 19-inch cross-flow wheels without any aero inserts. Then just a few days after, Teslarati shared a video of what looks to be another Model Y refresh driving at night nearby Fremont. This one, although also covered up in the same fabric, had a cutout for the light bar to shine through. Now, although this doesn't necessarily say that this is the Performance model, there is a higher likelihood, as the Model Y has officially been announced and available for order worldwide. There wouldn't be any need to cover them up if there wasn't something new to hide. Now with the latest one here, just over this weekend, spotted and shared by a user on X that goes by Drive Green Live Green, another Model Y was spotted in Jiangsu province of China. This Model Y was completely covered from head to toe with zebra camouflage wraps, then covered up again with the same dark fabric covering. What's interesting with this test vehicle is they've used duct tape to hold the edges together, as the camo wraps likely cannot hold the weight of the coverings. And looking down to the wheels, Tesla has gone above and beyond this time, even adding camo wrap to the aero inserts. And at first glance, this might look to be the same cross-flow wheels on the current trims, but it also could be the new performance versions that they are testing. Adding to all this, there also seems to be final testing being done all over the world, including Germany, with another user on X that goes by Fenrir also spotting a very similar vehicle being covered up with the same type of covering over this past weekend. So here, even though it doesn't seem like much, we pretty much called it. This is like clockwork, and Tesla engineers follow the same procedures when they are testing out prototype vehicles. This means that over the next few while, we are going to be seeing more and more of these camouflage vehicles on the road. How they typically go throughout the timeline is they start out with fabric covering the entire vehicle from head to toe. Then they start moving them away and leaving the body panels to be seen. They start slowly stripping away everything and leaving only the middle doors to be open and covering the back and rear. Then eventually they will move over to the camouflage wrap. This will also have the coverings, and then the final stages is when the coverings will be by themselves. Now, by the point where the car is wrapped purely in the wrap alone with no coverings, this is when we know that we are extremely close to the announcement, probably just weeks away. And now, as we see that they are on the almost last and final stages of this testing period, we can say that they are still on track to release it sometime in April, 3 months from the initial announcement of the Model Y Juniper. Of course, as we start approaching that date, we are going to know more and more about the drivetrain. They are going to do a lot more performance testing, track testing. We're going to see the suspension in action. So much more exciting things that we aren't going to be able to see right now with the car being extremely hidden away. They are being extremely careful right now not to reveal something to the public just before the official car gets delivered to customers. Now, of course, with that being said, I will be keeping my eyes peeled for anything that comes up regarding this Model Y performance, and of course, everything else that comes out as well. So make sure you guys stick around, hit that subscribe and that bell notification if you haven't done so already. And on Twitter, I do post things that you guys probably won't see on here. There might be things that I don't include in videos just because they're too small of a topic or there is not enough of it. But yeah, hit me up over there at HeyJohnE. You guys can chat with me, DM me anytime, and I will respond as quickly as possible. Anyways, this should be it for this update. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is John once again. Peace out.